And welcome back to New Serum, 5 minutes after the last scene, as we are joined by three very silent and stoic kindred, two of them perhaps in varying degrees of pain and disrepair, as Delarouse's red terror of a car glides across New Serum streets very quickly. He's not dilly-dallying at all, not breaking any rules either. Well, maybe a few. There's no
Okay.
music and Belarus doesn't speak.
2D for her most part is in the back with Renee, being very careful to try and take off some of the clothes that Renee is wearing that separate skin from clothes from burnt skin. Very carefully, very calmly.
Yeah, you can say stoic, and it's a sweet thought. Renee is not stoic. She has been horribly burned, and it hurts a lot. And she is doing her best not to, bawl, but she is probably snuffling. Yeah, she is probably at least, leaned back across Tootie, because across the back seat is easier, and is trying not to make pitiful noises as everything pretty much the waist down of her dress. A lot of it has been burned, but there are still bits that are brushing over burned skin that are presumably being torn or cut away.
Yeah, she's doing it very delicately with her knife. Very, again, incredibly delicately.
Yeah. In the between this, you'd actually be past a scalpel from the front seat. Just across your shoulder.
Yeah, she just take it. And again, very measured cuts. You know, she's got high enough medicine. She knows exactly what she's cutting, and she's very careful, very slow, very taking her time.
I mean, on the bright side, it is a dress, so there's some airspace involved. It's not like this stuff is right up against her skin.
Oh no, it's just the burnt skin that's attached to it that she's been very delicate with. That's kind of very carefully peeling it slowly off. And she'll look down at her. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah, she is probably biting her own hand, very, very carefully focusing on not springing fangs in the process, but biting her own hand, and has just her cheeks caked with blood because it hurts.
You'll be fine. You're going to be all right. And we're just going to get you home, and we'll get you settled.
Just very numb nodding.
I mean, she could Delarus and Renee can see the clear shotgun puncture mark, flat. But some of it is closed back up, but the rest of it you can see the shell casing still covering her chest. Maybe one of the bullets is starting to pop slowly out of her stomach, hitting. You can hear the ding 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 as it hits down on the dresser. She's just slowly cutting fabric away.
That's not eerie. At least it's distracting, however.
Again, Belarus doesn't speak, nor does he put on music. And it's around this time that he pulls into the driveway of that southernish mansion that would certainly be fit to lose, if nothing else. Maybe Miss Goodchild.
Once they do, 2D will very calmly open the seat where Renee's legs are, walk over, and she will gesture hands out. All right, come on. Nice and easy.
And yeah, Renee very carefully, probably hissing in pain all the while, very carefully tries to scoot herself down, leans around in such a way to try to scoot on the least injured part of her back or her rear, and very carefully tries to extricate herself from the car, almost immediately sticking an arm out for Tootie to help her support her weight so that she can get up off of everything that is burned.
Yep, Tootie kind of scoops up under you and is basically half body carrying you in, and she'll buff a point into strength so she can actually just effectively fireman carry you in.
Yep. It's not pretty, but it doesn't put any extra pressure on the burns.
Yeah, she's making sure she's carrying you from your actual non-burn side, so you're just up and over as she begins to move in quite quickly, kicking the door closed with her foot.
Belarus does not follow with. In fact, he gets busy working cleaning the back seat of the car. At least that's the last thing you see him, sort of gathering up all the cleaning supplies in the garage.
she very calmly, opens the door with one of her keys, kicks it and then kicks it open and begins to move Renee in, and very gingerly kicks down the couch so it folds down, and just very calmly sets Renee down on the kitchen table, like kicking all the stuff off it.
Yep, that works. She helps as much as she can, all things considered. I mean, she can still move, it just hurts.
All right, I'm going to need bandages. And she turns very quickly and begins to open up drawers and take out various things, scissors, bandages, water. She turn to Renee very calmly, begin to lay them out, rolling up, taking off her jacket as Renee can see the big bullet shotgun has gone through her shirt as well, She wasn't wearing anything fancy. She was wearing jeans, her leather jacket, and you could tell maybe she just literally has just arrived back. This will be able to heal with blood, but we're just going to put a bandage on it and let it just settle, and then we'll get you out feeding, and you can heal.
There's, just kind of a numb little nod of compliance. She's done her best to scoot herself to where her legs and everything are up on the table, easy to reach. And then just kind of lays back, just covering her eyes with a hand.
And she just begins to slowly, very gently dab along any of the sticky clothes that were already there that she couldn't cut away, kind of fall away very slowly. It does hurt. She's very slow. She's very careful. Everything is plenty of air around the bandages. She's just very slow and takes her time.
No, just to see how well she sucks it up. As soon as I can remember where my willpower is, there it is. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. She is not the world's biggest baby. She manages to lay back, puts the hand over her eyes, and honestly just stops breathing because it makes it easier to not make pitiful noises.
2D, while she's bandaging, will put music on in the background. Almost seems to be this quite ambient stuff. Almost you can tell it's distracting her as much as you. As you see another one of the shell casings just pop out of her chest, she gets a little. She's cutting one of the bandages off.
And a shaky breath kind of comes in, and it's just enough for her to speak. And she just voice trembling a bit because, again, pain tolerance. You gonna be okay?
It's not the first shotgun blast I've taken. She just give a smile. Like it's not like, oh, I'm fine. It's like it hurts, but no.
Essentially, the "I'll live" answer.
Mm-hmm. Thankfully, there was a wall. Thankfully, I didn't tumble downstairs.
Kind of a startled little strangled noise. She did not expect to be prompted to kind of laugh at it because, oh well, at least that.
Well, turn and circle the bandage around very carefully. Like I said, you can heal all this. You'll be able to heal. It's just going to take some time, and you're going to have to be very careful with your feeding, okay? It's going to hurt.
More nodding. Just accepting everything at its word, really.
You're going to have to maybe take a few days off work.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, I can take you out, and Delarus can help if you need to, and we'll take you out feeding and help, whatever you need. But some days you're going to have to go out and do it on your own.
Okay.
So, but we'll work on that later. For now, should again come up beside Renee as the bandages are very delicately wrapped and taken. She just lifts under her good arm and is immediately moving her to the couch.
Yep. The bandages help. There's nothing else touching her skin really except them, so at least there's not the issue of friction, really. And yeah, she'll carefully get herself up and move herself to the couch. Only once she's giving herself a proper look over. Make sure Delarose won't have another aneurysm that she sat there.
Judy sits carefully and sits down. She'll sit down and light a cigarette almost immediately.
You'd hear the garage door opening and closing at this point.
Judy just casts a glance outside, just nod to herself. Looks over at Renee. She's like mid-inhale.
She's kind of looking at the window. There's another kind of strangled laugh. Might have been nice if it was still raining.
Would have hurt more. She gives her like a sympathetic smile.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be back in 1 minute, okay?
Another, again, very numb, almost nod. It's like she's not really thinking about giving the answer.
She'll offer the cigarette. You'd be surprised.
I mean, she just shrugs and takes it at this point.
Is peppermint.
I mean, that's nice at least. Yeah, she distracts herself with that. That is sensory input that isn't negative, so... Yeah, she'll take Tootie's remaining cigarette and let her go.
Tootie will lean down and plant a kiss on Renee's forehead as she's walking out, very calmly. Searching for the good doctor.
The good doctor is... This house has a porch, doesn't it? I'm thinking like a...
Yeah, it does,
white
yeah.
columns kind of porch.
Yeah,
That's
it does.
what
It wouldn't be a nice southern building if it didn't have a big porch.
True that. Well, then he is swinging on the porch swing, a ways away from the door.
She approached very carefully, very slowly, taking step, 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 step.
Is the child okay?
She's fine. She could have took a bit of a burn, but she can heal it.
Good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And he sort of moves to the side, freeing up space to sit next to him. And he actually pats with his hand.
Walk over very slowly and sit down.
And he, for the first time in this light, turns his gaze to you. And you.
Me?
That looks like a nasty hit.
I've taken a gunshot before, Dolores. I'll be alright. Shrugs as, the wounds start to slowly up.
He looks out again. How was London?
Horrifying. They were waiting for me. They were all waiting for me. Lily was there. A woman I've known all my life.
And what did he do?
Let me make the choice that I was born to make. Because I had to do what has to be done.
You always have.
She looks over.
He looks over.
Were you worried?
And he smiles. I'm always worried.
She reach out and touch his face.
He reaches up to place a hand over hers.
There's
I know
always
you'll always find your way home.
there's always a Mr. Star and there's always a mother. Or all of us and none of us. Question
Always.
is, which one of us is which?
Let's not pretend we don't know the answer.
Princess
And he
Child
reaches.
didn't make it.
He seemed a gregarious sort.
The Hive too. Duncan's barely alive. We barely all made it out alive.
Yet you did.
I helped the god die. Let a new one rise.
Long live God.
A knight of New Sarum now.
Seems only fair.
I saw him again.
What did he say?
To turn and stand up, lean down, kiss Delarouse's forehead, and let him press into against her chest.
He smiles and
Can't you feel
reaches
it?
up. He stands up as well and embracing Tootie in very deep but very gentle hug. I have missed you.
I missed you too. Come though, to take his hand. She needs both of us.
More than she knows.
Smile and begin to walk back in as Renee sees Tootie come back in very calmly, probably holding on to Delarousse.
Yep, the cigarette is inevitably off in a ashtray by now. And she's just sat on the couch, gingerly leaning back, probably trying to put as much of her weight on her back as possible instead of her legs. And yeah, just eyes closed. Still like bloody tear streaked, but not producing any more. It's just kind of drying on her cheeks.
Tootie very carefully nestled down so Renee literally can fall into her.
And yeah, once she's sat, she turns, she blinks, and with her sitting at that perfect distance, and I assume like lifting her arm invitingly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She just eases herself down onto her side. It hurts much less. Lays her head in her lap.
Sorry I couldn't get to you in time.
I should have paid more attention.
It's okay. None of us were expecting that, I don't think.
Delarousse whips out the handkerchief as on the picture and sort of bends down next to Renee, begins dabbing away at her tear-stricken cheeks.
It seems that something has been going on.
And this is never.
No, well, we'll have to make sure that whatever We'll have to make sure we adapt to that. They seem to know us and how to get in.
Troublesome. Almost reminds me of Hardrick, doesn't it?
But Podrick's gone.
To look down.
Is he?
That's a slow nod.
Someone
For the
finally
time being.
caught him, and she's just
Stroking Renee's hair.
He did. Thunderwood says, looking up to Tootie.
She'll just look up and smile the biggest smile.
I was thinking we owe him a visit. For old time's sake.
It's a good idea. You two have a lot to talk about.
I don't know if he's really dead, but I don't think he's coming up for a long time.
I don't really think it would matter either way.
Did you see it happen, Renee?
What?
Patrick?
Yeah.
Oh. Gives a sympathetic smile.
Yeah. He broke him. It sounded like he broke every bone in his body. And then he, put him in this stone case. And then deep into the sand.
Oh no, poor Pod. The thing did look so deep. It's almost like it was inviting him.
He kind of glances up.
She's just far away look on her face.
Every joke has its punchline.
Again, she's still stroking Renee's hair very softly.
What else happened?
That one guy was there, the Giovanni with the fancy watch.
Hamish.
Yes?
Slow nod.
And he was there. But not the same time as the Giovanni. He was, I think he was trying to save Crystal.
So. What happened to Crystal?
She says this unusually softly.
I couldn't stop him. I tried. I think Val made a deal to give
Val.
Crystal to the Giovanni.
Val made a deal.
She tried to take it back.
Rolls willpower.
Oh dear.
She's still stroking your hair. Doesn't change that. Almost the stroking becomes quite rhythmical, like she's like doing a semicircle with the strokes and actually turning onto your cheek. Her eyes kind of bulge a bit. As Renee, on your own cheek, you just feel a drop of like a little tap, you know, when like say water hits your cheek.
She'll, of course, turn a glance up.
Judy's crying.
You tried to make him stop.
Not like babbling. It's just this one slow streak.
We really tried. I even called the police.
Made a deal.
It was not your fault, Renee.
Val made a deal.
Again, slow, rhythmic circles on Renee's cheeks. Almost like now the blood that's now on Renee, that landed on Renee's cheek, is now being turned as well in her fingers.
Being streaked, yeah.
Yeah.
Belarus just reaches up a hand and with his thumb wipes the blood off Toody's chin where it's dripping.
I made a deal.
She didn't know what they were going to do. She tried to take it back.
She still made the decision. And whether she knew it or not, that sealed poor Crystal's fate.
Crystal. She just closes her eyes and opens them again. All she wanted to do was stop it all. She was so scared.
Delaware is almost guiding Judy's stare with his finger under her chin. So she's looking at him. And gives a reassuring smile. It's not finished yet.
I know. It's just, I wanted to see her again.
You will. You will.
Again, still Renee will probably it's probably I don't know how uncomfortable it is, but yeah, the spiral patterns keep twisting as the blood seems to just starts at the chin and goes up along the side of your face, almost coming close to your eye now.
Honestly, the gesture is still gentle and it may be rhythmic, but she's taking some assurance from it, weirdly enough. She doesn't seem to care about the blood. If anything, she looks just kind of nervous and guilty.
Would Delaware see that guilt? Or would
It's pretty blatant.
Okay.
She's got pretty earnest, like a guilty expression.
You have nothing to be ashamed of, Renee. You only did what you could.
Wasn't a lot. It didn't help. It was still a bad way to die. I
Yes,
wish
it
I knew
was.
what he'd been doing. Because it was weird. He didn't just kill her. He did something.
Ironically, the exact same number of rolls, just in a different
Ooh.
format. Okay. Keep talking, Renee.
Yeah. She just gets that far and kind of glances between them, being like, he did something. I don't know what.
I'm afraid there's more to fear from the Giovanni than guns and money.
He pulled out this knife and was holding it up and chanting. There was lightning. Al even tried to hold her up so she wouldn't choke.
She helped.
She tried to save her.
Okay, that's when the failed willpower comes in. Renee, you feel the fist close. The hand stops rhythmically turning, and the fist closes. You can even hear it, this squelching of probably blood on blood against, skin.
Is she, just closing her hand into a fist? Is she grabbing anything?
No, not grabbing anything, but you can just hear it. I imagine there's, a squishing sound right by your eye.
Just goes quiet.
Even Dungaroos seems to have stopped looking up at Tootie.
Oh yeah, Delaware sees it. Where is that look? There you go.
Yeah, Renee's just looking straight ahead and biting her lip a bit. Just the
For
inside
Delaware's-
of her lower lip.
For Delaware, it's a very familiar ice cold stare.
He gets up. He moves to the stereo. And strangely enough, he stops the music. When he turns the valves of that old analog radio, you can hear the scratching, and then it turns to a radio station. Then it turns over to KFC or KMF and music, and then he just keeps turning it and turning it until nothing but white noise leaks out. That's all you hear, Renee, at least. Just that scratching, itching white noise.
Yeah,
The whir of the ants.
she kind of watches him, and especially as he gets to a static point and then stops, she looks a little perplexed maybe, but she hasn't moved. She's still just laying there, head in Tootie's lap.
And he turns back to Tootie.
She sort of stares off in the ambience. Renee will see her eyes close. You can see her just almost like her body just seems to twist. It's almost like separating out from its skin.
Does the fist move or unclench?
It does slowly. Almost begin. You can see the knuckles beginning to crack as it almost like stretches out, almost like it's rubber.
Yeah, that is when she'll turn to glance up.
I can hear her.
And Laura smiles affectionately. It's not finished yet.
I'll make Val pay for this.
I know.
That lying whore hurts children. I hate her.
Glances towards Tootie.
She made the child watch.
Doesn't look at Delaware. She's just staring, almost like she's actually for Delaware's. Roll me perception alertness. Let's see if you spot this, because Tootie does. The way she's even marked Renee is really interesting.
Yeah. 2 successes.
Renee can roll a 2, but it'll be a higher distance just the position you're at. And don't forget your wound penalties as well.
I was gonna say, if this is on her cheek, there's no way she can see it unless it's in a reflection.
It's the way you see the reflection, but it's also the way Tootie's positioned herself as she's moving.
Okay, sure. 2, and then I have.
I'll put this at diff 7 just for Renee.
Okay. Alertness?
Yes.
So just 3 dice. Nope.
Nah, you're too. to be probably too busy actually trying to look up at 2D yourself. Delarus, you see as almost she's speaking with a communal gathering.
Mm-hmm.
And Renee, and more importantly, her, are right in the center of it all. You seem to be on the periphery. As that static noise creates.
Yeah.
She made the child watch. And then tried to lie and take it all back.
You know what you have to do.
I should have been here.
Wasn't much she could do, Tootie.
I should have been here.
Podrick got her all the way to the spine. She couldn't even move. Not at first.
Val made her decision long ago.
Well, she regretted it. For what that's worth.
She has no regrets. Only lies. She'll hurt you like she hurts everyone else.
She turns a glance over to Delarose.
He's staring out the back window to the garden as well.
Then she turns a glance back up to Tootie. Why would he take her arms, her hands?
The Giovanni always wants something. I don't know why, but they always do. I've done work for them before. They always want something.
She just kind of shakes her head a bit and buries her face a little further in Tootie's leg.
Now you know why I don't trust Val. I hoped you'd never see it.
Val is fire, and she will burn anything that gets too close.
She can never admit what she truly is. A coward.
Denial is such a bitter taste. To be fearful of yourself. Such a waste.
I'm sorry, Renee.
She kind of lightly shakes her head again, though, depending on... You said she's wearing jeans, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll take a minute for her to feel any dampness through that.
To look down.
Oh, don't cry. It's all right. I'm not angry with you. I promise.
You're safe now. You'll always be safe with us.
I still bet he's mad at me.
Who?
And, Pod got the wire on Val. I begged him to help. And, he asked me, I think it was him, he asked me what I would do. Crystal, if he helped. Told him I'd do anything he wanted. And then I didn't manage to do anything to help her.
You did everything you could.
That wasn't
And
enough.
in the end, we can only do what we can. We can only choose what we do.
Delores, will you go up and make Renee's bed for her? I'll carry her up in a minute.
Of course. He turns on his heel and heads up.
She'll look down at Renee softly.
Don't be angry at yourself for Crystal's passing. Not when you did everything to help. A poor girl who was so frightened.
This does not seem to reassure her. She's still pretty teary-eyed, just kind of idly leaking it at this point.
I'm just sad because she never got to help her the way she helped me.
She helped you?
She killed the man who helped me kill the man who took everything from young Danielle. Made her scared. She held her hand while she did it. Told her everything was going to be okay.
She looks kind of confused, honestly.
She'll hold Renee's hand.
You gave her a passing that, and the comfort that she wanted to have. And Val took that away from you.
I didn't even have time to try to carry her away. I didn't do anything.
Like I said, she took that away from you. You're never going to let it happen again, are you?
I mean, no,
Are you?
not if I can help it.
Are you?
No.
Promise me.
Happens if I can't do anything next time either.
There's always something you can do. You just have to not be afraid.
It might not be enough again.
But at least you won't be afraid. Will you?
She continues to look very guilty.
I was afraid too. That's why I'm not angry at you.
She'll kiss her forehead.
So promise me, the next time you won't be afraid.
How can I promise not to be afraid?
It's very simple. You just have to let go. And have some faith. Don't you trust me?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So promise.
Try.
Good. Now come on, let me get you to bed. We've had a long day.
There's a compliant little nod. She'll begin shifting to make it easier to get her hoisted up.
Oh, she hoists her up very carefully, very delicately, lifting her up towards the room where Delarue is.
And for what it's worth, for Delarus, of course, as soon as he opens the bedroom door, if he does, the cat will bolt under the bed, hissing and pitching a fit. But while she has been very good about keeping the room clean, there's no clutter, everything's where it goes, dirty clothes are in the dirty basket, etc., etc. There is one thing that stands out, and that is that on the dresser by the door, there is this wadded up white shirt. And it is, it's not one of her teas, it's not her scrubs.
He'll attempt to fold it.
He will, he'll pick it up and kind of, snap it to get it lined up. And it is a men's shirt. And it is much bigger than Renee is. It is definitely not hers. He will probably see that it has been torn in such a way that it looks like it may have been torn off of a person. And it's not clean. It's maybe a little, like, it was obviously exposed to the rain. There's probably not much sand left on it. Maybe a grain or two fall off as he goes to flick it. But yeah, that's definitely not hers.
Delarue grins. Full on childish, playful, heartwarming grin.
Yeah, and depending on how distinctive his shirts are, I have no idea whether or not you can put together 2 and 2 on whose it is.
I mean, he wore pretty distinctive clothing.
I imagine it is.
Delarue finishes making the bed, and before they make it upstairs, puts the shirt in his and 2D's room.
Carries Renee in, very gently lays her down, covers the blankets and stares down at her.
We'll get you started healing in the morning, okay? I'll tell you all about London.
Just smile.
Okay.
And the weird thing I saw there that you'd like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest wolf that you've ever seen.
Shit, really?
Smile. Plants another very delicate kiss on her forehead.
Not till tomorrow, though.
Okay.
Get some sleep.
She's walking towards the door.
I'm trying.
I know.
Sure, I hear a little squirming as, she gets herself settled just so in the bed. And once she's gotten towards the door, she might even hear the pat as the cat slinks out from under the bed and hops up.
Oh yeah, Tootie just turns back one last time and closes the door and walks into the room where Delarue is.
You almost immediately notice the white, torn, slightly dirty shirt on the bed, laid out neatly.
Walks out over, puts her fingers against it.
He is in all of us. Same as we are all in him.
And Delarue approaching from behind Tootie, almost putting his head on her shoulder, his lips right by her ear. Simply whispers, "In your name."
indicated.